Has Rob Edwards lost the Luton Town dressing room? That is our topic for debate on this week's episode of Where Hatters Walk. We've got Mark back with us. We're also talking about Chong, January window priorities, and who's the Luton Town Player of the Month for November. Welcome back, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. This season is up and down, and here we are again. Talk us through the Norwich game, please.
Oh, well, I have to start by saying that it was an improvement. We did all the things that we haven't been doing. The pressing, which came about with our opening goal, and we went to Norwich in trepidation after the Leeds game and not really feeling very optimistic, but we didn't look in any trouble. The same thing all season away from. We didn't look in any real trouble, and we're keeping like their big strikers quiet, and then we just shoot ourselves in the foot. And there's no way we should have been behind, but to give them credit, we came out second half and we didn't go behind, and the heads didn't drop, and we got the equaliser, and then you sort of thought, go on, get the result. And even at 2-2, we couldn't see that we were going to lose that. And then once again, just ridiculous defending, as Rob has said, and it's just basic errors that you probably wouldn't see on a Sunday morning down your local park. And it's basic. And Rob's called the players out quite rightly, because he shouldn't have taken the flak at Middlesbrough and taken responsibility for it. And there's no way we should be losing that game. And 2-2, you're thinking that's going to be a really good, positive away result. There's a lot of positives in the performance, but we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot by conceding like just ridiculous goals.
I listened to his interview afterwards. I know you will as well. He looks broken. He looks broken in terms of, I mean, I think good for him for once, though, for not saying, oh, it's on me and this one. He actually did. He said, didn't he? I can't. The defending in that second half, it's just unfathomable how professional players who get paid more than me and you do a week can put in such half-hearted performances. Is it tiredness, or has he lost the dressing room?
Well, funny you say he's looking broken. We seem like the last couple of weeks, we seem to have got the old Rob back. The smiles come back, and he's probably saw that game, thought enough's enough. He came over to the away fans, and he didn't give the apology hand sign, and then he just applauded us, and literally he walked off. And normally he'll go around and shake the hands of every player, but he just like walked straight off. He looked a very angry man, and quite rightly. And I think we'll probably come on to Swansea in a bit, but this is massive now. Having called the players out, then if they're just going to get picked again on Saturday, then it's just words. Whereas it's like people are making mistakes, and people that are like Tom Holmes, who deserves a chance of running the team. So I don't believe he's lost the dressing room, but I believe that he's been let down, not for the first time this season.
Okay. LTFC says playing Chong at left wing back was a disaster and cost us a goal. You can blame the players, but Rob Edwards cost us that goal. Chris says, I've defended Rob, but I hate this interview. That's the one we've just spoken about. Putting it on individual players and intentionally distancing the team ethos, absolving himself of any responsibility. The introspection has pushed him too far the other way, which I thought was an interesting take. Let's focus on Chong first of all. Do you agree with the posters saying Chong's positioning was a disaster?
Well, unless I'm watching a different game, but Chong wasn't left. I didn't believe Chong was left wing back. We went with a back four, which we've been crying out for all season. We had Bell on one side, then we had had in the middle McGuinness and Mengi. Yes, he was massively at fault for that goal, but how you can let Jack Stacey not even either shield the ball out or kick it into row Z or out of the ground, who was at fault for the goal. But the reason we lost, I believe, wasn't personal opinion, wasn't down to tactics, it wasn't down to formation, it was just down to ridiculous errors. So Chon's best games is like when he's running and attacking at defenders. He doesn't have the strength, but he's got the skill, so he does his better work further forward, but he just got found out for that second goal.
Okay. Here's the team for Swansea. So says one poster. Michael says, "How about you stand up, Rob, and make hard decisions? Drop McGuinness, drop Mengi for Mads and Holmes, and play players in the right positions." And that team is put there. You talked about bringing Holmes in. Would you bring Mads in as well?
Well, he hasn't played all season. He played at Plymouth and then did his hamstring again. As far as I'm concerned, he's not ready for 90 minutes. He's been on the subs bench, but he hasn't really made it on there. So you wouldn't start him and hope that he gets through 90 minutes. I think after what Rob said, having said that, he's really got to make some changes. I would bring Holmes in for McGuinness would be my change. Obviously, we don't know how far away Reece Burke is. That changes again, because if Reece Burke's fit, he's the best defender and he goes straight in the team. So depends on availability. But he just I don't know what he can do if they keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah, up against a Swansea side who don't concede many goals either. So this is going to be a fascinating tactical battle this weekend. All right, let's leave the football alone for 1 second. Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. Happy with that, Mark?
Totally uninspiring. I hope for a new away ground to go to, or somewhere where we can have a nice day out and forget about the league position. Bear in mind we've conceded 20 goals in the last 6 away games, and then we're going to a team that's flying high in the Premier League. So
yeah, maybe not. Okay. Christmas lists have been written all up and down the country. Let's write Luton's, shall we? In terms of possibly loans and transfers, what's top of the list in terms of what Luton need?
What's top of the list and what will happen might be slightly different, in the sense that I think it's well known that Joe Taylor will go out, either be a loan or a permanent. He's not getting the minutes. And if he goes, then we'll get another striker in to as backup for Jacob Brown, Elijah, and Carlton Morris. We signed Farnay, who's signed and is here now, and that will be available. He's meant to be a strong midfielder. So it all depends on the situation. I mean, I would strengthen if Alfie's going to be back in January, but we miss him a lot. And then also there's other players there that don't want to be here and feel like they should be in the Premier League. So I think it's as much about who goes out. January historically is not a good window. Teams aren't going to sell their best players, and if they are, they're going to want a lot of money for them. And generally, you don't pick up the gems in January. We tried to get, I think it's Poke, is it? Puke from Peterborough, and we didn't offer enough money. So I would like us to get some pace in the team, just some natural pace. We feel like that's a bit lacking, but I would as much as who's going out as who's going in, and I don't envisage we're going to break the bank. I think it's just like see what Fane can do, maybe get some pace in, and just like strengthen basically, and hopefully we'll find the formula to stop conceding goals.
Okay. Finally, then it's November Player of the Month time. If you can dig deep and find one, who gets your vote this month?
For me, got to be Tom Kraus. It's not. We've had. Although we've had some heavy away defeats, we've also we're picking up points at home, which is a positive, and that's why we are where we are. We've got a draw against West Brom at the beginning of the month. We've beaten Hull, beaten Cardiff, although it wasn't convincing, and Tom Kraus is at the centre of everything that's good about us. Another lone player we've fallen in love with. So for me, Tom Kraus has probably been our best player. For me, he's been our best player this month.
Brilliant. Makes a change from Kaminsky getting it, doesn't it? So it's nice. Nice to talk about a different player. Right. Thank you very much, Mark. Enjoy the game against Swansea. And thank you, of course, for watching the channel. We appreciate all the comments and all the love we've been getting over the last couple of weeks. We massively enjoy making it for you. If you are a Luton Town fan and would like to join Mark on this channel, giving your views or even arguing against Mark's views, then please drop us an email. The email address is in the description below, and we'd love to have you on here in future weeks talking about Luton Town. I think this season is going to get very, very interesting. I don't think you've got any worries at all about going down. It's how high you can, or whether you can get a run together and just nip into the playoffs. Mark, do you still see that as a possibility?
I don't consider us to be a relegation scrap. I believe that we've got enough quality, and if we just iron out the mistakes, I see us as being like a 10th. I don't think that we'll make the playoffs, but I think a top 10. Bear in mind the challenges we've had this season wouldn't be the worst. Just consolidate, and it's not relegation, but I also think we'll struggle to make the playoffs, albeit we're not even halfway through the season. So
all can change, can't it? All can change.
You're asking me after a couple of long away trips with me.
All right. Nice to be back at home then this weekend. Enjoy the game. Thank you all much for watching. We'll see you next time.